question down as well. While we are still waiting for our guests to join us quickly, I also want to make sure that everyone, you have your question available. Get ready. It's going to be a wonderful time in the studio tonight as we invite our guest, Pastor Kolade Segun-Okeowo. Good evening, sir. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you now.
Oh, all right. Yes, sir. You are most welcome. I can hear you, right? I can see you, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Let's see what's going on. Yes, I can. All right. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear now.
Right here. It's like I can't hear from my end here, but I can see that you can hear your sound is coming in. I couldn't just hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? I can hear you.
All right. But you can hear my sound very well, clearly.
Wow.
Let's see. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Tadeo.
Oh, okay. Okay, now. I think I can hear you now. How are you doing? How are you doing tonight, sir? Okay. Joining us from Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kolade Segun-Okeowo. Good evening, sir. How are you doing, sir? Wow. We are still working on, I think that's a kind of a network issue.
What do you think?
I
can hear you from my hand.
I can't hear him, but I know. Now I can. Yeah, I just heard you. I just heard you now. I just heard you now.
Yes. Oh, great.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Yeah, virtual last. So we have in the studio today, Pastor Kolade Segun-Okeowo, all the way from Nigeria. I just want to say thank you so much for coming with all your busy schedule. I know you are so busy. So, and out of this schedule, busy time, you created this time for us to be here tonight. I really appreciate it. And everybody has been longing to see see you on this platform.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
A few minutes ago, I just played some of your interview that you had with the channel television.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes. Sir, can you just introduce yourself to the house, please?
My name is Kolade Segun-Okeowo. I was born some 50 years ago in Shagamu, Ogun State, Nigeria. I'm a movie maker, a Christian movie maker. I'm a politician. I'm also interested in property development. And by the grace of God, I'm a father, husband of one wife, and a preacher of the word of God. Thank you.
Well, a film was shown, and I went to watch the film. The film was called Lost Forever. That was the title of the film. And I watched the film. And after watching the film, I saw people weeping. I saw people trooping out
to
altar call to give their life to Jesus. Somebody came and did an altar call as usual.
Yeah, they just stopped it down. Yes. So you are now I got the word that you are properly manager or developer, I should say, property developer, a politician, a pastor, a movie maker. You're wearing too many caps.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're wearing too many caps. Yeah, let's take them one by one. Let's take them one by one. Amen. So let's start from the one that has to do with the gospel.
Okay.
How did you start? When did the issue of drama comes into your life? How did you start?
Well, my first drama, or my first taking part in a drama, was in primary school. I was in primary 3 when I first got introduced into drama. This usual end of the year drama stuff. And that was where I picked up my talent. Unfortunately, I didn't have opportunity to display that talent until when I got into the NYC, the NYC drama troupe after my my 4-year degree program.
We lost the signal.
My drama talent in all my 4 years in the university. What led me to discover how to return back to my drama interest? What led me to discover how to return back to my drama interest?
So when you look at that, your drama talent in university, so when you look at that, it was like you started that drama in university. I'm kind of trying to figure out when you are in university, you started the drama. So it's not that you actually, anybody in your family was in the movie production or movie theater before, or not your father, not your mother.
Absolutely no. My father was only a poet, was into poetry. My father wrote a lot of poems and a lot of literary works. My father was a writer, was a great writer, but acting, no. So basically, it wasn't a family thing. my delay in coming into drama actually was more because I was carried away by my involvement in the Guys Club. My realizing my drama talent was just a year before I left the university. And that was because I was dekegged in the Guys Club. Now, dekeggation means expulsion. After my expulsion from the Guys Club, it led me into some sober reflection. And then I began to discover, began to retrospect and discover the real talent that I have, which was drama. Unfortunately, that was in my last year. So my real involvement in drama was in the NYSC drama group when I went for my youth service in Ondo State.
Wow.
For my youth service in Ondo State.
So, but you want to tell me that during the time you were in school, you had that input was in there, but you are not just able to just use it as at that time. But then what actually launched you into it?
As a young man, I was carried away with the care guides. I couldn't manage my interest in the care guides with other interests. I was too carried away. So I really didn't pay attention to other things. But when I got dekegged, naturally I was angry. I was not happy that I was dekegged, but it led to other things. So I discovered that I could act. So I began to get interested in the acting clubs around me, but that was in my final year. So I couldn't really explore my acting talent as an undergraduate. It was when I became a student, a postgraduate student at Femi Ojo University, running from my NYSC to my postgraduate. Those were the times I became actively involved in drama.
Now, when you look at that Kegai thing, the issue of Kegai, people want to believe that Kegai is the most influential thing in school, because I never joined Kegai, but for some reason I just like their music. The way they play, the way they do, it's very, very fascinating. Now, is actually a Kegai a cult, or just a group of people that want to have fun? Because there are people that are out there that are still kind of fighting with that kind of behavior. How do I get out of this mess? How do I get out of this? Until you are dekegged, you are still part of. You want to join, or you just want to be part of them. So, what's your opinion about Kegai?
Well, I wouldn't say Kegai Club is a cult or was a cult at that time. But unfortunately, some of the leadership of Kegai at that time went into some, deep occultism with the occultic world, getting some powers here and there. Now, I didn't get to that level. I was a provost marshal in the Kegai Club. I was a provost marshal, Ilya Meleki at that time. Ilya Meleki, that's talking about Ogun State of Kegai Club. I was provost marshal Ilya Meleki at that time. And I wasn't getting to the level of occultism. But some of the leaders, we actually know that some of them went into deep occultism. But the level we got to in Kegai was the level of, gyrating, drinking palm wine, putting some little inducement into our palm wine and all of that. But sincerely, what happened in my own case was that as a young man, I was 15 when I entered the university, and being caught up with that kind of euphoria of excitement, I forgot other things. I couldn't manage my membership with my talent. So it really took my attention away from my talent. So that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, when I got the cake, I started looking at other things that I could do. And actually, that was what paved the way for my salvation. Being caught up with that kind of euphoria of excitement, I forgot other things. I couldn't manage my membership guide was a good my talent. So for my salvation it really took my attention away from my talent. So that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, when I got the gate, I started looking at other things that I.
So you want to tell me that everything just only generating right there? So
well,
everything about Kega is just
gyrating. Gyrate, have fun, promote the culture, the African culture. Is the promotion of the African culture, but more importantly, excitement, gyrating, fun, having fun, going around from one campus to another.
Let's go back to
going for coronations. That's what we're doing.
So okay, let's talk about other things. Let's think about something. The issue of drama group. How did you join?
All right.
Because this drama group is different from secular group. This has to do with spiritual world.
Yeah.
Because maybe I should ask, at what point did you give your life to Christ? Did you give your life to Christ to actually know where you are called to actually serve?
I got born again on the 11th of March, 1992. I got born again on the 11th of March, 1992. A young girl I was trying to woo, it was a period when Jambites were coming into the university. So there was this Jambite I was trying to woo. Along the line, she got born again. She became a Christian. And she was told in a fellowship that go around and tell people that so that they can also give their life to Christ. So she felt the first person she should talk to was me. So she came to my room in the postgraduate hall, Murtala Muhammad Hall, Femi Ojo University. She came to my room and started talking to me about Jesus. I believe very strongly that what she said that day was not what brought about my salvation, but God was already working in my life. Because she spoke for a record of 7 minutes. And within that period of 7 minutes, I found myself shedding tears. And I couldn't believe that I was shedding tears. Here was I, my girlfriend to be, my toastie, preaching to me, and then I'm crying. I remember my roommate, who was a Muslim at that time, was wondering, am I crazy? Has something gone into my head? She preached to me, and she asked if I want to give my life to Jesus. I said, yes, I want to give my life to Jesus. And she asked me to kneel down. And right before my toastie, I knelt down, and she prayed for me. After she left my room, I was asking myself, what happened? What have I just done? What have I just done? But I realized that something had happened to me which I couldn't explain. However, I thought I wasn't born again because my understanding of born again was a pastor will preach and then invite people for altar call. So I thought what that lady had done to me was not yet a confirmed salvation. So I waited for an opportunity. Fortunately, 2 days later, I heard that Pastor Adeboye was coming to town, was coming to the campus. Pastor Enoch Adejari Adeboye was coming to the campus, was coming to preach. So I said, fine, that's an opportunity to get born again. So I went to the sports center and I waited for him to make the altar call. I didn't even listen to the preaching because I was already waiting for, I was just wondering, I was just waiting to say, let this man finish up and make altar call so that I can step out. As soon as he made the altar call, Bass stood up. I was able to stand. My March 11th, March 9, 1992. That was the day I got born again.
Wow. 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 Now let's look at this. So with that, God, I'm just bringing from being decayed to being preached to by your then girlfriend, who now is your wife now.
Proposed girlfriend.
You see,
I was still
yeah. But I will just tell you one thing. Now, so how did you now get into Mount Zion?
Oh yeah. I went to Oduduwa Hall. Oduduwa Hall is where events that have is the event center of Obafemi Awolowo University. So this particular day, I got information that a film will be shown. So I went to watch the film. I got late to the venue. The film was almost rounding up when I got there. So after the film rounded up, somebody stood up and made an altar call, and I saw people trooping out to give their lives to Jesus. That was a few months after I gave my life to Christ. And I had a burning desire for evangelism and mission work. I was burdened for evangelism. I was burdened for mission work. I was angry with myself, that I had wasted some years. So when I saw that film, and I saw an altar call being made, and I saw the number of people who trooped out to give their life to Jesus, I said, what? Ordinary film show. People are getting money again after watching a film. And I looked at myself. I have this same gift. I've been playing around with this same gift. So you mean this same gift that I have, that same gift can lead to salvation? So two things, agreed in my life. I have the gift of acting. I wanted to preach. I had a burden for evangelism and mission work. So I said, wow. Then I started making inquiries. Who made this film? Was this, because that was my first time of watching any black people. The best I had watched was Jesus of Nazareth, Born in Hell, and all of that. So I've not seen an African Christian film. So I had inquiries. Which African country, the makers of this film are in Ilefe? They said yes. So I asked one or two questions and I found out that it was Mount Zion Faith Ministries. So I got information and I understand that they will be, I understood at that time that they will be having a training. So I said, wow, I must go to that training. So I went for the training and that was it. That was my first contact with the Mount Zion Ministries. Evangelist Mike Babylon, my mentor and my father in the Lord in the drama ministry.
Now, well, but after the whole episode of you going to the you giving your life to the Christ, watching the film that touched your life and changed you completely, and that inbuilt is already in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joining the group now, what would be your first movie that you participated in?
Okay. After my training at I met a couple of other Christian dramatists, And one of them invited me to Abeokuta, Ogun State, to participate in his first debut. I mean, his first movie, his debut. Borrowed Vessel. Borrowed Vessel. That was the title of the film. That was the very first film that I took part in, 1994. Sorry, 1993. I took part in that film titled The Borrowed Vessel. Afterwards, I got invited to the location of Ultimate Power. Ultimate Power had been released as a Yoruba Agbarala at that time. By the time I got to the training, and I was preparing for the English version, Ultimate Power. So I was invited to be part of that production. So I took part in Ultimate Power, and that was the kickstarting of my real drama filmmaking ministry and career. After that experience, I initiated our own production in our own little drama group at that time. We were based in a church, Assemblies of God Church in Ife. So we initiated our own film production. To the glory of God, we were able to successfully carry out that production. It was a 13-week bilingual serial called Daughters of the River. So that was the first time I was producing a film on my own, Okeowo, Daughters of the River. That was my debut. And that was in 1994. That in 1994, we shot Okeowo, and it became a hit, shown on all the major television stations in Southwest Nigeria at that time, became an household name. And that was a kind of breakthrough for us, a beginning of what metamorphosized into what we are doing today by the grace of God.
Okay. Now, with that kind of life, I thank God for your life. It's like the moment you just gave your life to Christ, you hit the ground and start running. That's just that's the way I see. Yeah. It's just like you hit. It's just like Apostle Paul, who came from Saul to Paul, and he started running from there. Yeah. It's just a kind of transition from where you used to be, and you start running like that. Now, when you look at that in the drama ministry right now, I realize back in those days, drama ministry, as in gospel ministry, drama ministry is now it's not that popular like the secular one. And what has changed so far in the recent time compared to secular drama or movie industry?
I think one of the major breakthroughs that God gave us in the Christian drama world is the breakthrough of technology. In the past, our major challenge was the challenge of marketing. Marketers wanted films that, the populace wanted. They wanted to market only films that appeal to the sentiment of the people. Unfortunately, Christian drama may not have that kind of appeal. I remember a marketer in Idumota telling me in those days, he said, brother, if you want your film to sell, put a little sex and add some violence to it, your film will sell, Now, I had to tell the marketer, I said, no, I won't do that. I won't put violence, I won't put sex in my film because I want it to sell. But now with the advent of technology, it's easy to put your film on the social media, YouTube, what have you, and push it as far as possible. So today, a lot of people are getting to see that, so Christian films are like this. We never knew. For example, one of the films made by one of us, our leader, Evangelist Mike Bamloye, was top on the chart of YouTube for months. And that's very, very instructive, and that says a lot. Apart from that, one or two other Christian films from Nigeria have been tops on the list of some other social media platforms. So people now get to see that, what marketers do not want us to see is actually better or good or more than what we can even imagine. So the technology, the information technology has really helped the Christian drama ministry to project what the Lord has deposited in us so that millions of people all over the world can watch without any barrier. As marketers, we want to put barriers on our work in those days, wanting us to do what we don't want to do, wanting us to preach what we don't want to preach, expecting us to add what we don't want to add into our movies. Now we have our liberty to do whatever we want to do, push our movies, preach our message the way we want it to preach, and the whole world will watch. So that's one major breakthrough. Another major breakthrough is that over the years, many of us have seen the need for technical training and have embarked on serious training of young people in the Christian drama world, training them in the art of cinematography, script writing, and other technical aspects of film production. Now, after so few years of training and retraining, our products are coming out now, and they are doing great exploits. In fact, some of them are even getting to know more than those of us, who trained them in the work. So we now have our products. We now have Christian drama ministers who are highly knowledgeable in the technical aspect of film production. And apart from that, we are beginning to have children born into the drama ministry who are now taking up what their parents are doing. Our children are beginning to, do film productions. So they are, and God is helping them to now add better things with benefit of, knowledge, better information. They are beginning to spot out films that are better than what their fathers are doing. The children of Evangelist Mike Bamiloye, for example, are in the forefront of this, talking about Damilola and Joshua Bamiloye. My own children are also taking, the same trend. They are shooting. My son is than I do in cinematography. So these are some of the things that have been happening in the gospel drama ministry that is enlarging our coast, increasing our capacity and capabilities.
Yeah. You see, I know last time I spoke with Damlola on this particular platform too as well, he made mention of some of those things that, people are now doing that is, getting, it's more, it's creating more awareness in the world right now. I remember back in those days when the Christian movie has moved from the level whereby when I see them watching, when I'm watching Christian movie before, it's like you talk, I talk, you talk, I talk. It's like, what do you say? I'm okay, sir. And it's like instead of being, being naturally.
Yeah, well, desire to nothing more. So the questioning was not taken so seriously. But over the years, we saw the need and we did what we need to do, and the results are coming out to the glory of God.
See, now the other thing is just that, will you ever collaborate with secular movie makers to produce a movie? either that has to do with that is Christian or that is moral. Let's just put it that way. Either that is moral or that is Christian. Will you ever do a collaboration with Christian? I mean, the secular artist.
Yeah, that's not a question I want to answer here. I think it's best for me to say that when such situation occurs, I will consider the pros and the cons of the actual production. Who is this actor that is coming to me? What is contained in the message? What is contained in the script? What is going to be the benefit vis-a-vis my conviction? Forget I told you where I am coming from. Don't forget I mentioned my passion. Don't forget I told you how I started. Don't forget I told you what motivated me into the drama ministry. That motivation has not changed. It hasn't changed. From the day I watched that film at Oduduwa Hall in Ile-Ife till now, the motivation has not changed. So if I am going to do any production, motivation, so I will not blanket and say, I'll never do this. I will never do this. I would rather not do that blanket. I would rather say, if that situation presents itself, I will lay it on the table, lay it on the table before God, lay it on the table vis-a-vis my desire and my passion, and I will take a decision.
Yes. So now let's look at. Let me take a last question for the drama issue, and
all right.
When we look at the issue of piracy, how have you dealt with the issue of piracy? People, stealing stealing scripts, stealing your idea and producing it. I know it happen. It always happen in the secular world. Does it happen in the Christian movie too as well?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. It does. It does. Piracy is a crime. Piracy is a disease. Piracy is not to be condoned because it's a robbery of intellectual property. It is a robbery of intellectual property. Whatever anybody has made with his intellect, ideas, brain, creativity should not be stolen. So whoever steals or whoever pirates is an intellectual arm robber, is an actual intellectual robber. So it's not something I want to condone or accept. However, I take a second look. What's my passion? What's my desire? Remember, I told you where I'm coming from. My desire is to preach a message and get it across to as many people as possible. So in a way, I think the pirate is only in the process of heaping curses on his or her head. The pirate is helping me to fulfill my visions. Although it will not be blessed because the thief is a robber, it won't be blessed. I will be blessed. So in a way, the pirate is helping me because the pirate will not change my message. The pirate will not remove my face from the movie. The pirate can't remove my name from the movie. So he's helping me to project and as deposited in my heart. However, in the course of doing this, because what he is doing is not acceptable in the sight of God, but he is helping me indirectly to fulfill my own vision. Thank you. That's the way I look at it. And my opinion I've kept that opinion for many years, and that's my way of looking at Paris.
You see, there is why we are talking about that. I'm just gonna shift a little bit to the church. Being a pastor as well,
all right,
what will you say about churches, or should we say we should encourage church to adopt drama group in their church? Because some people will not, I believe there are some churches that will say no drama in no movie in our church, no drama in our church, So what will you say to churches that are still yet struggling with or accepting the ministry of drama group?
Well, this is what I think. This is what I think. Churches who are still battling with drama are yet to grasp the power that is involved in the dramatic ministry. What many churches have not realized is this: no matter the number of hours you spend deep, it cannot be as understanding as a few minutes. Members of the congregation can remember movies they have watched months ago, years ago. As I sit here, I can remember the movies I watched as a young boy. I can remember the movies I watched as a teenager. But ask me, can I remember the sermon my pastor preached 3 months ago or 3 weeks ago? Except I go over to listen to it maybe on radio or on my seat in my car. Except I go over to listen to it again, I probably will not remember. But I can watch. You see more than what you hear, and that's instructive. And I think that's why I think pastors should encourage drama ministry in their churches. Today, some general overseers are getting the wisdom of turning their messages into dramatic format, turning their messages. Drama groups are turning messages of general overseers into dramatic, format, because the members of the congregation will remember better. It will be clearer better. I remember many years ago, we acted a drama at the City of God in, I think that was in Warri. We acted it in Warri, and a revered gentleman, Elder Musheshi, watched the drama, and he said to me, he said, what you have acted in this drama is more than 7 years sermon, 7 years of sermon packed together. That's instructive. A drama of 1 hour. And the revered elder said, this is more than 7 years of sermon packed together in 1 hour drama. I remember another administration, a drama administration, a stage drama administration. We acted in another mighty, a massive congregation. The pastor of the church told me, he said, what you have taught in this drama within 1 hour, I have been struggling to teach my congregation for 9 years. Now that's instructive. What else do you want? If somebody will say, what I have been trying to teach my congregation for 9 years is what you have taught in 1 hour drama, in a 1 hour drama. How? That's instructive. Time will not permit me to begin to tell, several other testimonies of what has used drama to do, how drama has, been used to make the congregation to understand better what the pastor has been teaching. So I am using this medium to also appeal to as many pastors as possible who may be watching this or who will watch this after night, to give drama a chance. Give drama a chance. For the past 25 years or more, I've been involved in drama since 1993. I've been involved in evangelical drama. That's about 28 years or thereabout. I've been involved in drama for 28 years. I've seen transformation, real transformation in lives. I've seen people give their life to Christ by watching drama, by watching films. I will recommend drama any day, any time in churches.
See, I want to ask you, there are some church members who they don't have drama in their church, but they kind of fall in love. Somebody called me one time and said, "Oh, I would have loved to join drama group." Last time when I was talking to Damdola by Mike Bamloye, I said, what first of all interested me in drama was the unprofitable servant that his parent acted in our church one time. So not too long after that, our church started drama group too as well. I only go there. They put me at the, when you do to play drum for the opening glee. That's what I did. But I think along the line, I started acting along with them. So when I went to school too as well, in my secondary school, boarding school that I went to in Ado Ekiti then, I started drama group. So social gathering that they were doing then, I turned my own to, I gathered some group and we acted, drama as at that time too as well. And that has been part of me on the side. I've not gotten to the level whereby, to the professional level like you do, but how can somebody join, most really from outside country, to be trained? If somebody wants to join your group right now, how would they be trained, or what's the way of joining the group?
Well, I think the issue is not in necessarily joining the group, but maybe participating with us in movies, because we don't really run a structured group like Mount Zion. What we do is we have people who are working with us on volunteer pieces, and when we have a production, we call everyone together, we call ourselves together, and then we cast and we do movies. So most of the time, people who desire that the gift of production, they contact us, and we want to know them. We are interested in not just in bringing who are they. So what we also do is we do a training. We do a training in film production, an annual training in film production. We do that every August. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it last year and this year because of the challenges of COVID-19 and what have you. So it's been online. We've been doing it online. We're going to have a conference this weekend, online conference this weekend, Friday and Saturday, for all our alumni spread all over the world. Those who have, I'm talking about alumni who have gone through our training. So we're going to do some kind of refresher, retraining this weekend. So that's the kind of thing we do. And then we get to know ourselves. And then, so if there's any production, we invite them either here or outside Nigeria. We invite them to be part of our productions. So that's what we have been doing.
Okay. Now let's talk about politics. Now let's go back a little bit about politics. I would have loved to ask one question, because I see the way you are responding to some of those questions online too as well. Maybe I'm trying to see how I can lure them together. The way people are responding to church, criticizing churches. Church are not doing anything. Church are not doing this one. So, what is your own opinion about that?
Well, this is what I think. Those who are criticizing the church, they are not criticizing the church because of what the church is doing or what the church is not doing. They have simply made up their minds that we don't like the church. So even when they see good things happening in the church, They rather prefer to turn their eyes away, because it's like they have made up their minds that we don't like these people. Whatever they do, we will not acknowledge it. Now that's a category. There's another category of people who are ill-informed, who don't know what is going on in the church. For example, when people say, these pastors are using our tithes to buy jets, I laugh. I know that these are people who are uninformed. They don't know how tithes are managed. They assume that after service, the tithe and run home. That's the idea they have about tithes. They think that those of us in church, we are so stupid, we are so gullible, that after we have paid our tithes, the pastor will just carry it and run away. That's the assumption. They don't know that we have one of the best accounting systems in the world. They don't know that the church is well regulated. Tithes go in from the local assemblies to the church. Even the general overseer does not participate in the administration of the tithes. They don't know. They don't know that the general overseer do not particularly decide what the tithes are meant to be used for. They don't know. They don't know that there's a board that sits to decide how tithes are spent. They don't know that there's that even the amount of tithes they are talking about is not sufficient enough to buy the jets they are talking about. They don't know. They don't know that the general overseers who are buying jets, they don't know that some of them, these general overseers, from the proceeds of their intellectual properties, the proceeds of their intellectual properties are more than enough to buy the jets. Let's take an example of Pastor Adeboye. One of the books of Pastor Adeboye, Open Heavens, alone, Open Heavens alone sells over 10 million copies all over the world. Now, as a writer, as an author, he's entitled to a royalty. He's entitled to a royalty. That book is sold for about 1,500 or thereabout now. I can't expect that the author will write a book that sells for 1,500 naira and he won't get 100 naira as royalty. Now let's do our calculation. 100 naira in 10 million places for the royalty as his royalty. That's a lot of money. And that's just one book out of several other books that he has written. How about his CD tapes? Is he entitled to royalty of his CD tapes? Of course, it's because even the CD tapes, the sermons that a pastor preach, they are his intellectual property. So he's entitled. By the time you put all of this together, you'll be shocked that these income, these royalties are enough to buy these jets that people are talking about. And apart from that, a lot of people don't even know the kind of corporate social responsibility services the church is performing. They don't know. For example, I live in a community. I'm speaking to you from our Fem village in Shimawa. Shimawa is behind Redemption Camp, Ogun State. Shimawa used to be a very quiet village until the Redeemed Christian Church of God constructed a 14-kilometer road to that community. Single-handedly, the church opened up the road, constructed the road, tarred the road with drainages and street lights, 14-kilometer road, and still maintaining the road for the past 7 years, single-handedly. That's a lot of money. Now that community is benefiting. Not only my community, about 24 other communities are benefiting from that road constructed by the church. Now, the medical facilities provided by my church, for example, is one of the best. in the country. Today, the church is constructing a large, a massive health village. And I can tell you for free, the health facilities in the church is not open only to members of the church. Many times I go to the church hospital, I see people wearing hijab. Attend the hospital in an hospital facility belonging to the church. What does that mean? It means that it is not open only to members of the church. It's open to the general public. And these are part of the things that, the church is doing. But you see, the way this church is structured, the church is not structured like a political party. This church is not structured like government that will do one thing and make noise. The church is not used to making noise. The church will not do something and then go on the air and begin to make noise. No, that's not true. The church doesn't do that. A lot of, social responsibilities have been taken over by the church that the public don't even know about. But some of us who know, we have refused to keep quiet, and we have refused to be silent, and we have chosen to speak and let those who don't know that no, church is not that in the church pastors just eat money and run around with money. In fact, more pastors are involved in donating lives. People think that pastoral work is you chop. No, it's more of giving. More pastors are giving their time, giving their personal property into the work of the Lord. It's the absolute opposite of what are thinking. What they are thinking.
Now let's look at your aspiration in contesting for the for your local. Let me. I don't want to say what is not what I don't want to say it wrong. What is your aspiration right now? Because I can see online, but I want to hear from your mouth. What is your aspiration online? I mean, right now concerning the politics in Nigeria.
Well, I have a dream. My dream is to open the eyes of the church to the damages that are done by our not getting involved. But understand years, I have some deep understanding of grassroots politics. And so I have some information for the church, and that is what I've been doing in the last few years, speaking to the church, talking to leaders, raising young Christian politicians. Today, I am the convener and the national president of Believers in Politics, an NGO. And what we do in that NGO is to open the eyes of the church. Apart from that, I have been appointed the director of political education, of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Ogun State chapter. And one of the things I do is to educate the church about politics and how to go about it. This is because many of our religious leaders are getting the understanding that staying away from politics has not helped the church. Now they are encouraging members to go into politics. Unfortunately, they don't have the political knowledge. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to tell the member. They just tell the member, go and join politics. Go and join politics. How? They may not be able to explain. We are standing in that position to bridge that gap of bringing political education to the church. Yes, I contested to become the chairman of my local government, having gone through different strata of political leadership, becoming the chairman of my party in the local government, becoming the presidential campaign coordinator for 2 presidential candidates in 2015 and 2019 in my local government. Apart from that, I've been a member of the state executive council of my party. So I have got some things that they give. Now, as for the chairman, it's an opportunity to the people at the grassroots. Of course, you and I know that the local government is the closest to the people. Well, unfortunately, along the line, the party that I belong to now, felt otherwise, decided for zoning, decided that zoning formula will be used in presentation of the chairman of the local government. Unfortunately, the seat was zoned to another constituency, which is not my constituency. So the party leadership prevailed on me to step down the same constituency to have way exactly what happened. Now, 2023 is a little way off, so it's too early to make conclusions. My party remains supreme. By the time we get to the when we get to the bridge, we will cross that bridge. What is up for grabs in 2023, I cannot disclose publicly now, but when we get close to 2023, we will cross the T's and dot the I's, and then we can make public pronouncements.
Okay. Let me ask a general question. Maybe if you can answer that one with that has to do with politics as well. Somebody said, I read an article one time, and it said a Christian died and went to, he died or, saw a vision and went to hell. I mean, when he died, somebody appeared to him and said, come over. And they took him to a place and they said, this is hell. Okay. When he got to that hell, he saw AC. He saw everybody rejoicing, partying, and it's not like heaven, but everybody just partying and doing everything, all manner of things. So, and I said, wow, if this is hell is not bad. And the following day, he went back and he said that when he now finally died, and he came back and he said, the same person show up to him and he said, come over, and let's take you to the hell. So he had the vision of the last memory, the one he had last time. And when he got there, he saw the whole place empty. People were crying, people were in agony and screaming and yelling. He said, no, this is not the place I came last time. The man looked at him and said, the time you came last time, we were campaigning. That was campaign time. But this time is now real. So now, what that simply means, why is it that what we campaign, what we receive during campaign is always different from what we get in the real life? What are the factors that normally changes all those things that are being said during the campaign? Because in campaign time, you raise people's hope, but in real life, people now come and they say, okay, sorry, we said it, but it's not, yes, sir.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I think I have had that very expensive joke. I think I've had that very expensive joke before. And this is my take. Yes, every society gets the kind of politician it deserves. Every society gets the kind of politician the politician does not produce the society. If he has said, hello, can you hear me? Audio. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, your line is kind of breaking away somehow.
Oh,
so I lost you for a second.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I said it is the society that produces the politician. And every society gets this is what I mean. Every politician is a product of unity. They get leaders. Leaders don't drop from the sky. Leaders don't come from the ground. Leaders come from the people. So whoever the people are will be evident the kind of leaders they produce. Therefore, if the politician is bad, don't blame it on the politician, blame it on the community, blame it on the society. The society produced him. Now, let me give an example. Makes promises, tells the people what. A larger percentage of the politicians actually mean what they have promised, determined to do what they have promised. Unfortunately, the system we operate in makes it almost impossible for them to do it. Why? I'll give you two examples. I went to campaign in an environment, and the leaders of that community, I spoke with them, and they challenged me, what will you do if you get into office? And I told them my manifesto. I explained to them what I would love to do. The roads, of course, I've done my research. I know what that community deserves, and what what is lacking in that community. So I reeled out my promises, my campaign promises. I was shocked. They were not excited. These are not politicians, leaders of the community. They were not excited. And so after I finished speaking, they said, well, Mr. Man, thank you for all that you have said. But all these things you have said, we don't want and we don't need. I was shocked. I said, so what do you need? They said, give us money. Just give us money and go. Just give us money. And when you get office, and go. The average Nigerian politician is faced with that kind of terrible challenge. The people want settlement. The people want stomach infrastructure. The people want largesses. Now, if you're operating in that kind of system, we're getting nowhere. The Nigerian people have asked the politician for too little money. Just give us. Discover that an aspiring politician becomes a sudden philanthropist. And then the Nigerian people hail him, not caring where he's getting them from. Now that's what miracle are you expecting a man who is in the office and all he has done is share cars, share cows, share food. What miracle will perform when he gets to the office? That's not politics. That has become business. It has become a commercial venture. And that's unfortunately what we are doing in Nigeria. We have a wrong situation in Nigeria. And that situation, I call it the regime of commercial voters. The regime of commercial voters. Most of the time, election in Nigeria is determined by commercial voting. Commercial voting. I have identified three categories, three classifications of voters in Nigeria. One, the conscious voters, the controlled voters, and the commercial voters. The conscious voters are people like you, those who know what to do, who know the right thing, they know the right candidate. Unfortunately, that category is a docile majority. They hardly vote. The second category is the controlled voters, members of political parties, people who will be told who to vote for by somebody. They don't even know the candidate. It is one leader that tells them, this is the person to vote for. And most of the time, that leader will have collected some largesses from the politician. So the control voters vote based on instructions. Third category is the most dangerous category, the commercial voters. They vote based on money. How much are you going to give me? You'll be shocked to know that election day in Nigeria, half of the voters have not made their mind. Made up their mind. They are going to the polling center to go and check out the highest bidder. And that's who they are going to vote for. So many times you find criminals in offices. You find looters. You find armed robbers. You find all kinds of people because they have been able to spend money. So it's the people. If there's going to be a revolution in Nigeria, it's a revolution of the people. And it has to be a revolution of conscious voting. That's what I propose for Nigeria, the revolution of conscious voting. As long as conscious voters will not participate in the voting process and leave it to controlled voters and command voters, the situation might continue unabated. But the day conscious vote takes over in Nigeria, the situation will turn around for good. Thank you.
See, thank you so much for this the way you have explained the whole thing. It's so kind of painful whenever I see Nigeria, when it comes to voting in Nigeria. Now, look at what will you say about 2023? Are you sure that election is going to hold? Number one. Number two, we have all this saying that says youth are the future of the older one says youth are the future of tomorrow. But still, the older ones still refuse to relinquish the power to the youth. Yoruba people will say, "Want to get aye to youth to one." So how do we do it?
Disagree completely from that school of thought that says the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. The youths are the leaders of whenever they choose. The youths are the leaders of whenever they choose. Now, the expectation that the older generation will relinquish and hand over to the young ones is a mirage, is a dream. Power is not released to anybody. Power is not served a la carte. You take power. You don't beg for power. So when I see young people saying, let them release it for us, I say, you are dreaming. You are dreaming. Nobody will release anything for you. Go there, take it, participate. You want to sit in your father's house and expect them to come and give it to you. It won't happen. Let the youths grow. The young shall grow. The old shall agree. The young shall grow. The old shall agree. You don't push any sector of the society away and say, oh, let the old ones go and sit down and let the young ones take over. There will be anarchy. There will be anarchy. It's that evolves naturally. So it is not when the likes of our World War, how old were they when they started taking over power? They were in their 30s. They were in their 30s. They beg for foundation. And give room to the young people. No. Today, young people are coming. The chairman of my local government is 40 years old. He's 40. He did beg. He participated. He did what he needed to do. And today he's the chairman of the local government at 40. We have seen other people we have seen younger people who are, the speaker or your state House of Assembly is 32 or 33. He didn't beg for power. He participated. So let the youth stop saying, oh, let them give us a chance. The chance is there. The Constitution has given chance to everybody. A 35-year-old can be president. A 30-year-old can be governor, according to the Constitution of Nigeria. A 25-year-old can be in the House of Assembly. So what else do we want? The Constitution has given the room for young people to participate. So participate. Ask the young people themselves. If a youth like them will contest election and will not give them money, are they not the ones who will prefer to go and vote for the old man who is throwing money around? So let the youths to ask themselves, will they be ready to vote for a youth who is not having money? Would they prefer to go and vote for an old man who is rolling out millions? So these are questions the youth must ask themselves. So it's not a question of somebody saying, give us a chance. There's no chance. Nobody will give anybody any chance. Power is not cut. Power is not begged for. Power is wrestled. Power is taken. And that agrees with what the Bible says.
Let me ask you this question too.
And the violent take it.
When you look at the way to get the form, when you want to contest for a position, either local government, at the state, at the national, the money that they ask for, even some youth that have aspiration or desire to run, they don't have the money. And two, you have to run under a platform of fatherhood, whereby you have to have a godfather who want to endorse you, and that one you have to pay an homage to that one as well. By the time you want to start running and campaigning, you must have enough money, stack of money to give out to people, whereby the corruption is not ending anytime soon anyway. Now, with that does not give even some youth that have good conscience of running chance to rule, because they already, I don't have the money to pay to anybody, or I don't have enough money to get the form. So for those that got the form, we have to find a way to make their money back. So how do you think Nigeria can survive, or what do you think we can do to change all this nonsense stuff that that kind of limit the power of the youth? Because there are some that will have money to rule, They don't have they don't have to do anything. They use power of money. Why? Meanwhile, some people have intellectual, but they don't have power, they don't have the money. How do we deal with this?
Bro Femi, let me tell you, the day Nigerian youths are ready to take over, let me tell you what happened. The protest. Where did they come from? How did that mobilization take place? Who mobilized them? Even in the face of oppression, even in the face of attack, the youth were resilient. They stood their ground and they were able to make, a statement, end SARS, end SARS. Now that was a good one, but 2 weeks later, or a few weeks later, a senatorial election was held in Lagos State. And INEC officials said, INEC said their officials slept most of the time during the process of the election. Those who came out for EndSARS, where were they during the elections? What happened to them? You will be shocked to know that 90% of those who came out for EndSARS, they don't have voters card. You don't have voters card. And you are shouting, youth, give us chance. How? Where's your voters card? You don't have. You have voters card. Did you know? Why didn't you vote? The vote will not count. Who told you? Who told you votes won't count? If the votes will not count, why do politicians spend millions and billions to buy votes? If votes don't count, if that same energy that was put into EndSARS, if that same energy can be deployed on the day of elections, Femi, things will change. Things will change. That energy, deploy it. Follow your candidate. Ignore the two major parties. The same way you rose up during the EndSARS. I'm using this opportunity to, if this can get all the youths in Nigeria, the same way you rose during the EndSARS, protests on the day of election, rise up like that, you'll be shocked. There'll be a change. They could stand in the presence of armored tanks and say, no, we will not go anywhere. So what stops from getting to the police center and saying, no, we have voted. The votes must count. I would rather do hashtag vote must count than do EndSARS. Because if I am in charge, if I'm in government, I can end SARS, I can pull SARS down, I can do anything I like. So I would rather do hashtag votes must count. So let all those who participated, look at that number. That was massive. But 2 weeks later, election was held. They didn't go out. They didn't vote. That's police priority. We want. We must know what we want so that we can want what we want. That's what.
See, well, we talk about voters' card too as well. There are some things, it will be easier if all these voters' cards are made easy for people to, or is available for people to go. Not when people are queuing or sleeping at the INEC office or where they tell you that the material is not available. That's sometimes discouraging too as well, because the government also know what they are doing. The only way is like pre-planned issues too as well. When they don't make it available for you, for the same people that want to go there, people go there. I've heard stories and report that people will go there and they 2-3 months, they have not even received their voters card. So how do we get all these things done? Last time I heard about the story of the issue of the news about the Senate talking about the electronic voting, and yet they were still struggling and fighting about that. So how do we solve all these problems?
Bro Femi, let me tell you the truth. It is not just a question of voters card being difficult. Yeah, I agree with you. That is part of the decadence of the system, which you change the decadence of any society by standing across the fence and shouting. It doesn't work. I've learned that from my late father. My late father was an activist. My late father was a student union leader, was an activist. But later in the life of my father said if he had a choice, that he would rather be in government than be in activism. That he would rather be in government than be in activism. He said to me, he said, the things I was able to change, the influences I was able to pull in government, I couldn't pull it as an activist. Now, so you see, that's instructive. Yes, voters card are difficult to get, but those who get voters card, what have they done with it? Let me give an example. A friend of mine was contesting the governorship election in his state, a Christian, and he was able to mobilize his denomination. He was able to mobilize members of his denomination to register. And as they were registering, he was getting their data, he was getting their contacts and all of that. On paper, he got over 200,000 members of his church to register. Did you hear what I just said? He got members of his denomination to register over and he had the list. So he was confident that, wow, 200,000 members of my denomination have registered. I will win this election. Can I shock you? He contested the governorship of his state. He had less than 5,000 votes.
Wow.
He had less than 5,000 votes. Now, what happened to all those members of his congregation? 200,000. When he told me the number, I was shaking. I was convinced too. I said, 200,000? If you have 200,000 votes, you've almost won this election. You are going to become the governor of the state. If you have 200,000, he said yes. And he was right. He had 200,000. He was instructive. It was instrumental. They were registering. They were registering. On the day of the election, they refused to come out. The guy scored less than 5,000 votes. He was almost running mad. He couldn't believe it. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? So it's not just a question of they didn't allow us to have voters card. Those who have voters card, what have they done? In my constituency, the first time I contested the election, in my constituency, the result of the election, this was the result of the election. The winner got 3,000. The winner got 4,100 votes. The second got 3,100. The second runner-up got 2,800. Put all together, about 10,000 votes. 10,000 votes. But I asked the number of those who registered in that constituency to vote, there were 52,000 voters. 52,000 people registered to vote. Yet, only 10,000 voted. And the winner got 4,100 votes and went to the House of Assembly with 4,100 votes out of a record of 52,000 voters. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? So you see, when I said the people are the owners of the system, and people will determine what the system will look like. No society will get more than what it deserves. Presently, whatever we are getting in Nigeria is what we deserve. Thank you.
I would have loved us to continue this topic of politics, because it's very is the key thing in Nigeria right now. But because of our time, I just want to ask you this. What can be done to launch campaign for people to actually vote, to participate, and make sure their vote is counted? How, because some are suffering from being betrayed with the people that are, they voted and something happened, they rigged the election and somebody else was there. So make some people feel like that vote will not count. And so what can we do right now, to actually start talking to people, to actually letting you know you are the architect of your life. What you need to do right now is to get out and do.
All right. My late father had a proverb. And this is the proverb. Mi ò lè wá kú, kì í joyè ilé bàbá ẹ̀. Mi ò lè wá kú, that means whoever says I cannot come and die will never inherit what rightly belongs to him. This is a struggle. It's a battle. And victory will not come cheap. Victory will not come cheap. There are forces. We are battling all kinds of forces. There are people who don't want any good thing. Nigeria, all they want is let us be in charge. If the people who say, well, just to do what they are doing, that's exactly what they want. So if you say leave them, let's leave them. You are doing what they want you. It's not a tea party. Politics is not a tea party. And that's why I said it the time. Power is not anywhere in the world. Power is not served a la carte. It doesn't come cheap. It doesn't come easy, especially in our part of the world. We must fight it out. It doesn't have to be physical fighting. We don't have to fight. Making if they can group themselves, what we want. Now, you ask yourself, why is it? It is only two, three major political parties. Very well, these are the parties that spend the highest amount of money. It means that the people themselves, something is wrong with the people. Why is it that it is the party that spends money that wins election? Why? Why is it that it's the party that spends election? Why don't you vote for the party that doesn't spend money? What? Why can't we vote for the party that doesn't spend money? Why are people always voting for the party that spends the highest money? So it's the people have a responsibility. Can't we wake up one day and vote an unpopular party, vote for a party that doesn't spend money? Why can't we do that? Oh, we will not do that. We would rather want to vote either A or B or A, because they are the two, who are spending more money. So there's a problem. There's a problem. So it's a decision that the people must come to a realization and say, no, we don't need money. We don't need money. This party has produced some good candidates. That's the party we're going to vote for. We don't need their money. But I can tell you for free, not many communities in Nigeria are ready to take that kind of decision. I have been part of the process. I have seen community leaders. I have seen young people, even the youth that you are talking about. I've seen them. I've gone to campaign to many youth environment. I've gone to campuses to speak, and you'll be shocked to see young people. You campaign to them. They are not asking questions about ideas. They are not telling you what will you do in government. They are not asking you serious questions. They are asking, what did you bring? What did you bring? Does that look like we are serious? Does that look like we are ready for any change? What have you brought? That's the first question you want to ask from a politician. What have you brought? And we are expecting any sensible change? No. It can't work like that. It won't work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I really want to say thank you so much for this meeting. I think this meeting must have a second part. This meeting must have a second part. And the second part is going to actually focus on politics, because that is what Nigeria, that's the heartbeat of Nigeria right now. It must have a second part. And if you don't mind, if you wouldn't mind, I would really love to have a second part with you on this political issue in Nigeria. I want to thank you so much for being our guest today. It's been an awesome moment, awesome time. Yes, that is how you know the politician. That is how you know the politician. That is how you know the politician. Yeah, that makes it to be complete. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
We want to thank you so much, sir, for being my guest today. I just want to thank you. God bless you, sir. And when there's you have your final word to the Nigeria, to the church, and to the people that are also looking forward to join drama group in future? What would be your final thought for them?
Well, my final word is passion. Whatever you want to do, you must understand that you must understand why you are in need, and it shouldn't be for pecuniary gains. Money shouldn't be the driving force. It shouldn't be the driving force. Young people I don't think it will work if the focus is pecuniary. Of course, yes, the blessings can come along the line, but the focus must never be pecuniary. The same thing for politics. Those who go into politics for pecuniary gain are the people, they are the troublers of our Israel. They are the troublers of this nation. Those who go into politics, they have no second address. They have no other business. They have no other job. The only job they have is politics. That's dangerous. So for anybody who wants to go into politics, get a second address. You must have a second address. And that's what you do for a living that hence your income, not expecting that politics will be
for people that might be looking forward to buy landed property, house, all those things, because I just want to touch that one very briefly. Hey, maybe let me just campaign a little bit for this for this one. If you're buying, so maybe Pastor Okeowo will tell us what do you do as a landed developer. So what do you have properties where just under 1 minute, what will you say about that issue of the land? Because we have
a couple of we have a couple of plots of land behind we have 2 estates, 1 and a phase 2. Hello, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, we can. I can hear you.
All right. I said we have a couple of plots for sale in Shimawa behind Redemption Camp. Presently, we have 2 estates, a phase 1 and a phase 2. I live in the phase 1. I'm speaking from the phase 1. promptly, and the phase where people can buy plots of land, build their residential house, and live in peace of mind and tranquility. My number is 9934 080-3453-9934. I can be contacted also, and we can talk.
And I'm sure when you buy the land, when you do everything, is that you can be guaranteed that there won't be any issue of omonile and any other problem.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Thank you so much. It's nice meeting you, sir. And I look forward again to connect with you.
Yeah.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you too. God bless you too. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Femi.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.